You know what I think is so great about your 40s is that you stop caring so much about what other people think of you and you start to get a bit more selfish. And when I say a bit more selfish, is you really start to think about, okay, like there's no going back. I'm just gonna, like, life is going forward. I'm gonna continue getting older. So you start thinking about how you wanna feel not only a year from now, but 5 years from now, when you're 50, when you're 55, when you're 60, and what you're going to feel and what your relationships are going to look like. Now, I know this isn't the case for everybody, but I think for someone who really is living a more intentional life, like you're really like waking up to, okay, this isn't a rehearsal. This isn't me. This isn't time for me to continue to meet everyone's needs and make sure I fit in and get everyone's approval or make sure that they're happy or make sure I'm not rocking the boat here. I think one of the freeing gifts that happens in your 40s is that you really start to think about, okay, well, what is going to serve me? What is going to feel more self-honoring and self-respecting? And that's very freeing. That's very freeing. And not only is it very freeing, but it's also very important to respect yourself and to honor yourself and your needs on all levels. So I want to share with you what I have really just like triple, quadrupled down on in the last 9 months and what I am teaching my clients to double down on as well, considering their certain circumstances. Your day to day habits, how you show up, the things you do, the things you say, actions you take or don't take each day are really going to compound what you're going to feel like, look like, and the relationships you're going to have a year, 3, 5, 10, 15 years from now. So, like I said, we're not in a rehearsal anymore. I think that wake up call happens in your 40s like, oh shit, like time is going by fast. Let me get serious. Right? At least for me, it has, and many of my clients. So for me, what I have been working on is it's really compassionately, okay, if I'm being honest, maybe not so compassionately, but respectfully ending relationships that no longer contribute to my life, but also to where I no longer feel like I'm contributing to their life. So 9 months ago, I had a girlfriend breakup. I broke up with a good friend of mine. We were at the same stage in life. Our kids are the same age. She's a few years younger than me. I just had a wake up call that, okay, this friendship isn't serving me. We drank a lot of alcohol in this friendship. We gossip a lot in this friendship. And the relationship that she has with her spouse isn't really respecting. And I don't want that to spill over into how I show up and talk to my spouse, right? She wasn't really respectful toward her husband. And I think it just comes out of emotional immaturity or not really knowing how to really like navigate her emotions. And this was a friend. I'm not, her coach. So I can only, say so much or suggest so much because you got boundaries between coach relationship and friend relationship. And I'm like, this ain't serving me anymore. I got to cut ties here. And as soon as I cut ties with that energy, that's when I really started developing these self-respecting habits of not drinking, of eating better, being serious about my fitness, and really getting intentional on pouring into my relationship with my husband, with my partner, and how to really revive that and reignite it and get it exciting and just optimistic again, because we've been together 10 years and we have a 3.5-year-old. So you got to be really intentional and on purpose with continuing to evolve your romantic relationship, especially when you have kids together and you've been together for a decade, right? These have been some of the things in my 40s now that has been really freeing, is unapologetically and as respectfully and as kindly as possible doing away with the relationships and friendships that are no longer working for you, right? And when you do that, you'll realize how much that certain people in your life have an impact on your day-to-day habits, have an impact on your perspective and on how you see the world. Okay. It's also really interesting how it's easier to stay focused and committed to showing up for yourself day after day is when you now have the more capacity and bandwidth to focus on yourself, right? And on the things that really matter, like yourself and your family and your children. And then whatever time and energy you have left, then that goes to the other relationships. But your priority relationships are yourself, your romantic relationship, and the relationship with like your family, right? And I think they're all equal. I don't think one gets more priority over the other. I just think that we need to be very conscious and honest with ourselves that our main priority relationships are kid, spouse, self. Kid, self, spouse. Self, spouse, kid. Like again, no order. And when you do that, when you are focused on that and you prioritize those relationships, you will find and they become a habit, prioritizing them and day after day, then you're able to discover that you do have some bandwidth and capacity, okay, for maybe now something else in your life. Because creating habits, healthy habits, take a lot of effort and bandwidth and capacity and time and attention and focus in the beginning, the first several months, because then it just becomes a habitual behavior. It gets better as you get older because you become more aware of who you are, value, what you bring to the table, and what your priorities are. Because when we're younger, we're trying so hard to prove ourselves to where we betray ourselves, we put ourselves on the back burner, we burn out, and we lose ourselves. So like when you get older, there's a lot of freedom in that because you are less, you give, like less F's about what people might say or think. And I think a lot of that just has to do with so much life experience over the years of, knowing what worked and what didn't work, failures and successes, and realizing that all of this stuff is just part of life. And what it really comes down to at the end of the day is, okay, the relationship you have with yourself and your immediate family. And if those are on the up and up and they're good, then that's a good life. That's a really good life. I also think relationship with yourself, you have really got to, like I said in the beginning of the video, triple, quadruple down on that because you want to, at least for me and the women that I've been helping lately, a lot of your self-confidence and your self-belief comes from feeling really good waking up each day. And feeling really good waking up each day has a lot to do with how you're taking care of yourself physically. Okay. And getting those habits in place. Like I said, with working out, with eating right, feeding your mind with good stuff, good books, good podcasts, good events, like really pour into yourself because that's what projects and pours into all your other relationships. So, so important. And I think it's so much easier to pour into yourself, focus on yourself and invest in yourself as you get older because you just lived through so much life and you're like, okay, all these things that I was doing before, focusing outwardly, okay, I don't feel the way I thought I was going to feel, or it didn't bring me the result I thought I was going to, I felt like it was, going to bring. So you just come to a realization that, oh, okay, really what I need to prioritize is myself. And when I do that, I'm able to show up better for everyone else, right? Let me know what's sticking out to you most. What are you loving about your 40s right now? Please share below in the comments. And listen, if you are a woman in midlife, you are ready to set, some more self-respecting boundaries, really get some good healthy habits in place, and start doing the inner work that helps you to let go of what's no longer serving you. This is the women's work I do in my coaching program, A Confident Woman Unleash. That's my 90-day signature program. If you are ready to prioritize yourself, create a life that is in alignment with your values, into where you feel safe to show up as your authentic self and really just love life again, book in a call with me. The link below is in the description. Let's have a chat and talk more about how I can help you and what we can create in your life over the next 90 days to 1 year. I'd love to help you. All right. I hope this was helpful. Please give it a thumbs up. Definitely subscribe if you want to keep hearing from me each week. Like this video, check out this one and this one because I bet you'll love them if you appreciated this one today. Okay. And I'll see you in a brand new video a little bit later this week or next. Bye for now.